Hello, e-commerce business owners. Welcome to 2025. I'm sure you're just dusting yourself down after your holiday break, getting back into things, slowly picking things back up. We know we all love it when we come back from holidays, but now is the time to get focused back onto your e-commerce business, and now's the time to start, if you haven't already, putting a plan together to make sure your 2025 kicks some ass. This year should be the year that you make your e-commerce business start to fly or get to the next level. Now, what I'm going to do for this video is just go through the 3 key things you need to do that I do with my clients to plan the year out, to make sure you're doing the right things to make your 2025 a kickstart or a fantastic year. So buckle in, let's get into it. The first part for a blueprint for success in your e-commerce business for 2025 starts off with your bigger picture planning. And this is where you need to think about in your business. Basically, there's kind of 4 key areas you need to think about when you're doing the planning. And you need to start thinking about your bigger picture to start with. So where do you want to be in 10 years' time? Where you want to be personally? Where do you want the business to be in 10 years' time? It doesn't have to be detailed, but often that's a question of, okay, are we looking to sell this thing? We want it sold in 10 years? Do we want it running under management? How kind of big do we want it to be? How much profit do we want it to have? What's our end goal here? And then how does that tie in with your life personally? That gives you your big picture, your big, hairy, audacious goal that you're aiming for in your business. That's the first step of planning. You then need to break that down to a 3-year vision. So what do you want things to look like in 3 years' time? This is going to be a bit more detailed. You're going to talk about, okay, this is the kind of sales and profit we're going to be doing. This is the markets we're going to be in and the products we're going to be selling. This is the team structure that we're going to have. This is the role I'm going to play. Here's the other key roles within the business that I will have filled by then. This is the systems and processes we're going to have set up and implemented. This is the marketing processes and strategies we're going to have implemented. And this is how we're going to get in control of our numbers. So that gives you a clear vision of this is what we want things to look like in 3 years' time. Then you can break that down to the next 12 months. So 2025, where do you want to be by the end of 2025? By doing this, you could then are tying that into obviously your bigger 10-year goal and your 3-year vision. Now you're getting a list of specific things you want to get done by the end of 2025. Then you should have a nice list of things. And then the last step in that plan is to break that down into 90-day projects or rocks. So get some rocks that you want to work on the next 90 days. And those rocks should be the ones that are going to give you the quickest or get you towards your goals the quickest. So it's really important you identify which ones you want to go for. It's not like in your e-commerce business you don't have anything to do. You have everything to do. But you need to pick the most important thing or the thing that's going to have the biggest impact. So that's really important you do that when you're doing the 90-day plan, which kind of ties into the next step of then choosing what those rocks or what those projects are that you should be working on. Once you understand exactly what your bigger picture is for your e-commerce business and where you want it to be in 10 years, 3 years, 1 year, it is then about picking the specific projects you need to work on that's going to have the biggest impact on your results. That can be tough because obviously there's a lot to choose from. So it is important you choose something that's going to have the biggest effect on your e-commerce business and it's going to move you forward. One way of trying to work out what to do is to have a look at the checklist that is available on our website. If you haven't got a copy of it, go and download it. It's called the 21 Steps to Being Successful in Your E-Commerce Business. Within that checklist, we've got a roadmap. And this is something I go through with my clients, and it's got the key steps that you need to take in your e-commerce business to be successful. So that's what we've got here. So it is about really kind of identifying which one of these are relevant for you to work on right now, where they're going to have the biggest results. So here we've got working on profit, which is about really kind of calculating your break even, making sure your margins and your products are set up right, and that you're making enough profit from your products. So for example, if you don't know what your margins are on your products, or you don't know how much money you need to make from your Google ads or Meta ads to break even or to make a profit, you need to know your numbers before you start doing that. A lot of e-commerce businesses make the mistake of trying to jump straight in and grow the business before they know their numbers. So these first 3 steps are really about getting to know your numbers. Setting up the reporting is step 3. Step 2 then is managing your cash. So making sure you've got a clear understanding of cash flow and you're on top of that, and also your cash gap. So when your money's coming in versus when your money's coming out, when you're buying stock and stuff like that. All of that stuff is important for you, or before you accelerate your growth. So if you're at the stage now where you're already getting a consistent 100k or even over 50k a month on your e-com store, you need to make sure you're on top of your numbers before you go to the next level. If you're under that, you might start first and foremost in the sales and marketing area. So here, the key steps we got on this document on the roadmap to you being successful is first of all getting your delivery mastery set up. So it's making sure your fulfillment processes are set up properly. You can supply your stock in a consistent and good quality manner. Then we look at conversion mastery, so making sure your website is set up to convert. Then we look at your traffic mastery to make sure that you've got the right traffic sources to drive traffic to your site. So normally in an e-commerce store, round 1 is let's get the website right, let's get the marketing messaging right, let's get the conversion strategy set up, and let's get some strategies to send traffic to your site. Then we go back and go, all right, we've got a product here, we've got a business here, we've verified that it works, and now let's go back and make sure we've got in control of the numbers, and then go round 2, let's start to expand on what we're selling and increase how much is going on there. Then it's about, okay, now you need to make sure the team is set up, or make sure the business is set up so you can build your team. So the steps on here are systems mastery, management mastery, and leadership mastery. So if you're at that stage already where you're kind of getting above 50k a month on a regular basis and you need to start employing people to help you in the business, you need to start working on your people. But that's kind of what you need to do to work out the areas you need to work on. But by all means, jump on a site and download the copy of that so you can get a copy of that. There is a bit more detail in there too. But this helps you identify exactly what you should be working on. The final thing you need to do in your e-commerce business to make 2025 a fantastic year is to plan from a numbers point of view. So it's all very well planning what you need to work on and where you want to be in 12 months' time. Let's turn that plan into numbers. Numbers are the language of business, and I'm not just saying that because I'm an accountant, although it does help. But numbers are the language of business, so we need to turn those into, or turn your plan into some numbers. And those key numbers we need to focus on include things like calculating your break even. So your break even, when you calculate that, you'll work out exactly what your fixed costs are for running your business. You'll work out what your margins are from your products that you sell. So how much percentage is left by the time you pay your cost of sales. This will then, you'll be able to then say, okay, how much I need to sell each day, week, month, and year to break even. Then you can add some profit to that. So you can work out, okay, if I want to get to a profit target this year of $300,000, then you add that to your costs and you can work out then what your daily, weekly, monthly sales need to be to reach that profit target. This instantly tells you each day whether you've had a good day or a bad day. So that's massively important when you're running your business to know that. And you'll have that down to, okay, the dollar amount and or how many sales you need to do. You then need to turn that into a forecast. So you have that budget and then you have a sales forecast. That sales forecast needs to be broken down daily. And then you need to set up your e-commerce business dashboard to then monitor your results each day or each week. And that should be monitoring obviously your sales, your average order values, any subscribers you've got, but also probably traffic to your site, conversion rate, bounce rate, so you can, and margins. So you can see each day how you're tracking against that budget you've just put together. So you know your numbers. This is my first day back in the office today, and I spent most of the morning setting up and resetting up people's dashboards ready for us to start monitoring the results this year against their budgets. You need to do that. That will show you whether you're on track or not to reach your plan or not. And if you're not, you can obviously do something about it. It puts pressure on you to get something done. And if you are, you feel good, you get that dopamine hit and you want to keep going. So if you put those in there, then that will help you make sure you have a great year for 2025. You now have the blueprint for how to set yourselves up for a great 2025. You need to put that plan together. You need to identify exactly what you should be working on, and then you need to put the financial forecast and measures in there too. You get those things together, that will help you have a much better year and help keep you on track during that year as well. I had a client where obviously we did that last year. We're doing it again this year. We were doing a bit before Christmas to get ready for this year to put the plan in. Now, us having a plan enabled us to plan out exactly what we needed to do, up to the point where we're moving premises at the moment, we're upgrading machinery, we're upgrading stuff, and this is all on our plan, and it's helped us delegate that plan to more team members to move us forward quicker. Without the plan, you're going to flounder a little bit, and you won't get where you want to get to as quickly as you could. I'm not talking about having a detailed plan. It's never I'm not a fan of a detailed business plan. They don't tend to do anything, but we do want a list of things to work on. We do want to be measuring. So make sure you do that in your e-commerce business. Grab a copy of the checklist from my website if you haven't already got it. And also, if you do want some help, click below. There's a link to my calendar where you can book in a call with me and we can have a chat, and I can help you plan your e-commerce business for 2025. Whatever you do, have a great year. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Any questions, put it in the comments below, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Cheers, guys. See ya.